Have you ever noticed that you saved hundreds of videos and collected endless tutorials, yet your life hasn't changed a bit? The problem isn't the lack of knowledge. We strive for survival through instinct, not by focusing on the outside world, thereby magnifying it and dressing it up as learning from what is strong and good, only to refrain from making a living, taking action, making a change, or focusing on ourselves to listen to the voice of our own bodies. Why have we saved mountains of information, yet failed to genuinely change our lives? Because changing your life requires restoring your own capacity to feel, judge, and act, so you can make choices that truly serve you. We don't manage our lives by memorizing what is good. It is only by obeying our body's instinct to strive for survival that we end up in better environments and make choices that serve our best interests. The core. People don't change their lives by memorizing more things. A living human being changes by feeling, in every single moment. This is good for me. This makes me uncomfortable. This is something I need to stay away from. This is what I choose. I saw a post by a netizen saying that her first-floor apartment was completely flooded, leaving her home destroyed and her belongings lost. I couldn't help but exclaim, "How terrifying!" Even a first-floor apartment in such a developed city got submerged. I had to express this sigh. I needed to obey my body and grant it the freedom to react as it wished. Only by letting my body do what it wanted could I take action and resolve never to live on a first floor in the future. In that moment, I was not reciting a piece of knowledge. I was obeying my body, my authentic self, rather than losing my selfhood, obsessing over the external world, exalting it, and distorting the truth. By listening to my body, I internalized this insight and truly cared about it. And it isn't just a one-off sigh. In the future, whenever I choose a place to live, I must remain fully alive in every second. Only then will I follow my body's guidance and select a good location. This is why living beings crave creative works, seek out specific people or places when feeling down, and spend time in those nourishing environments. It's also why it takes time to recover after encountering bad news, toxic people, or harsh environments, just as we need time to heal when we fall sick, or need psychological therapy. Our selfhood requires time, physical space, and territory to feel emotions, to experience joy, anger, sorrow, and delight, to move our limbs and act, to speak and judge, and to maintain a comfortable, secure social distance. We need boundaries. I spent time gasping in shock because I obeyed my body, letting it do what it naturally wanted to do, sigh and care. Why do some people instinctively seek benefits and avoid harm, living good lives? While others constantly copy, paste, screenshot, and bookmark, yet remember nothing and fail to protect themselves? Because they didn't truly absorb it. In fact, you don't even need to deliberately memorize it. Some people see information, memorize it, and even recite it, but our biological instinct to strive for survival relies on physical intuition, not on retrieving stored information from the past. We need to learn, but learning isn't about turning ourselves into information storage units, it's about letting information pass through us to become our own judgment and action. We only learn the kind of content that allows our bodies to keep breathing and survive. An action driven by the body has already calculated past lessons and factored in future aspirations. Simply obey the body. Past experiences become physical memory, emotional responses, and behavioral tendencies. Most of the time, we don't need to dig through stored information, our choices take shape naturally in the present moment. A person's true capacity to protect themselves doesn't come from storing external information, but from asking, "Am I a living subject right now?" It comes from following our natural instinct as biological beings to seek safety and avoid danger, rather than fighting against ourselves and making it hard for our bodies to breathe, hard for us to strive for survival. Seeing a flooded first-floor apartment leads to how terrifying, there is no way I'll ever live on a first floor. The point is not, I memorized the fact that first-floor apartments might get flooded. The point is, I am panicked, there is no way I'll ever live on a first floor. When choosing a home in the future, you won't need to sit down and recall, "Did I watch a video saying first floors get flooded?" Instead, your body already carries a natural drive to seek benefit and avoid harm. I want to live in a place where I can breathe and feel at peace. This is not retrieving data. This is a living biological system running as it should. It's not about forcing herself to remember, it's about restoring herself as a living creature whose body naturally feels fear, worry, avoidance, and self-preservation upon seeing that scene. The core is simply this: strive for survival in every moment. When a person stops striving for survival and only focuses on the outside world, when they are unable to live according to their own feelings for a long time, their sensory receptors grow numb. When our hearts feel warm and move towards something, it means it is good for us. When we feel afraid, it means we must stay away and push it away. Hitting bookmark is useless, in fact, it's often harmful. For those accustomed to suppressing their feelings, this fast-paced habit of switching, bookmarking, and hunting for more information simply repeats past trauma, reacting to the external world before even having time to feel oneself. Unless it is a conscious save, this content is great. I'll save it to lift my spirits when I'm down. That has a purpose. Bookmarking is an interruption. As I said in my previous video, when I first saw that news, I naturally felt and learned, I can't live on the first floor, even first floors can get submerged. My selfhood, focus, life, livelihood, and self-preservation naturally emerged. But the instant I bookmarked it, my emotional experience was cut short by that action, an action that betrays bodily instincts and oppresses the body from gasping, panicking, and protecting itself. It breaks my boundaries, my intuition, and my self-preservation. When I interrupt myself like this repeatedly, I lose the habit of obeying my own will, judgment, and physical instincts to strive for survival. When actions are interrupted, the mind rationalizes it, saying, liking and bookmarking is good and right. The mind rationalizes whatever we do. Even though my breath is suffocated, I end up unaccustomed to breathing freely, feeling comfortable, observing, listening, focusing, moving, or seeking good people and healthy environments. When bookmarking becomes a substitute for feeling and acting, it becomes a way to escape reality and truth. I am able to actively strive for survival now. I am no longer a helpless infant trapped in an environment without mobility, care, or resources. Bookmarking merely rationalizes my inaction. Follow my account for follow-up videos on this. Before I even finish watching, I am interrupted by the prompt to like, frozen in place. Just like when I am scared, instead of walking away, I fixate on and exalt the external world. The outside world is terrifying, it overwhelms me and leaves me immobile. In the future, when moving, or when feeling attraction or aversion, my self-judgment won't surface either, it will be interrupted. I won't obey my body, I will distort it. For example, my body's instinct might be disgust, wanting to walk away and ignore something, but I interrupt that instinct, choke my breathing in comfort, and distort it into liking, helping, or self-justifying. Instead of drawing near to what is good and strong, I fight against my own body and push away what actually helps me. I become less and less accustomed to truly living, to comfort, ease, peace, trust, and self-preservation. Unhealthy environments are maintained through interruption, control, and boundary violations. Healthy environments, on the other hand, allow people time to form their own feelings, judgments, and choices, allowing them to listen to themselves. I am going to a civilized environment with clear boundaries and time for me to strive for survival. This is not escape, this is the most primal instinct of choosing your path. Go live, earn money, and take root in places that respect your time, allow you to take deep breaths, and let you build genuine boundaries. My selfhood, my survival needs, my personal items, my private space, my residence, my property, my mental health, my psychological boundaries, my needs, and my limits, these form a circle and environment where I can feel, dislike, like, hesitate, and decide. Territory requires space. My chest needs room to expand and breathe, my hands and feet need room to stretch, act, and move, my thoughts, feelings, and opinions need time and a safe space. I am going to an environment where I can pause, digest, and decide. When I buy something, I need to consider my taste, style, budget, and plans. I must go to a place that allows me to do so. I just realized I need to check my bills, and I don't even know what's going on with them. Let your internal dialogue finish. Go to an environment where you can complete your thoughts without being invaded, interrupted, or disturbed. My selfhood needs time and space, and I am going to an environment where I can be myself. Starting today, stop using likes and bookmarks to interrupt and control your own innate drive to move, act, and strive for survival. Leave room for your chest to expand, leave time for your feelings. You are a living creature with your own mind, boundaries, and absolute authority. Obey your body's instincts. Go to places that let you take deep breaths, take root, make money, and fully unfold yourself.